Board meeting of the town of Newburgh. First order of business is roll call. Mrs. Green?
Here.
Mr. Ruggiero?
Present.
Mr. Manley?
Here.
And Mr. Piaquadio.
Here.
Next, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Supervisor, are there any changes to the agenda?
There'll just be one addition, but it's not an item for voting, and it's going to be a presentation from the historic bridges of the Hudson Valley, an actual print that'll be hung in Town Hall. And we will put that in wherever we can put it in time-wise, I think, that presentation. But other than that, I have no others. Is anyone else?
Nothing.
Okay, next we go to the
Nothing.
audit.
All right, so I'm looking for a motion to approve this audit in the amount of $570,757.39.
So move.
I'll second it.
Councilman Ruggiero, did you second that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Motion made and seconded. Mrs. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero?
Yes.
Mr. Manley?
Yes.
Mr. Piaquadio.
Yes.
Next, we have item 6, which is a public hearing. Introductory Local Law 2/2020, permitting preschool and daycare center in the B zone.
All right. Has this public hearing been properly advertised?
Notice of this meeting has been posted on the town website since April 23rd, 2020. It was advertised in the Mid-Hudson Times on April 29th, 2020, and in the Orange County Post on April 24th, 2020. In addition, copies of the notice of public hearing and the introductory local law were mailed to the clerks of the municipalities bordering the town in Orange, Dutchess, and Ulster counties, and the county clerks of those counties. This complies with all the requirements for a public hearing under New York state law.
Thank you, Mr. Petty. So with that, does someone want to make a motion to open this public hearing?
I'll
So moved.
Did someone say second out there?
No, I need a second, please.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded at 7:04 p.m. Mrs. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero?
Yes.
Mr. Manley?
Yes.
Mr. Piaquadio.
Yes. So with that, I'm going to ask our town attorney, Mark Taylor, to give us a brief explanation on the reason for this public hearing. So Mark, if you would do that for us, please.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. This is a local law that would allow daycare centers and nursery schools in the B district of the town of Newburgh. The B district is composed of sections of 4 major state highway corridors in the town: Route 9W, Route 32, Route 52, and Route 17K. And presently, this use is not permitted in this district. The local law would allow nursery schools that are licensed by New York State Office of Family and Child Services, and nursery schools registered with New York State Department of Education to be or to operate in the district, subject to site plan approval by the planning board. And the local law establishes the various bulk dimensions that would be required for those uses when allowed. They'd have a minimum lot area of 1 acre, minimum lot width of 150 feet and lot depth of 150 feet, a minimum front yard of 50 feet, rear yard of 50 feet, one side yard of 40 feet, and both side yards of 80 feet, as well as certain coverage requirements, which are generally in line with other uses in that district. By the way, board members, there is one correction to the local law. The front yard dimension is listed twice, and we'll just eliminate one of those listings. It's not a substantial change to the local law. It's obviously simply a typographical area, and before it's presented for your adoption, we will make that one modification. The local law is being considered on application of a property owner in the B district, building blocks. That owner does have a nursery school, which was operating pursuant to a use variance, and will become a conforming use if this local law is adopted. Just as a procedural matter, following the close of this hearing tonight, the board will be accepting written comments for 10 days following the posting of the transcript of this public hearing on the town's website. And I think that adequately summarizes the local law. Mr. Piaquadio, one other item, there is a provision which requires that the discharge and pickup of passengers from private vehicles, that there be provision on the site for that to occur, so that hopefully that will discourage anyone from stopping on the state highways from doing so in their own private vehicles.
Understood, Mark. Thank you very much, too. So with that, is there anyone out there who wants to make a comment on this topic on this public hearing? Please do so now.
Mr. Supervisor, this is Dominic Credisco. I'm going to unmute everyone. And so if there is anyone that wants to comment on this public hearing on the local law, if they would identify themselves and speak clearly and hopefully one at a time. So for ease of use, I'm going to unmute everyone now.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Bill Fetter of Rockwood Drive. How are you, folks? Good to see you all. Yeah. Are you able to hear me?
We can
Yes,
hear
I can hear you.
Can anyone hear me?
We could hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm sorry. Couple of questions. What actually brought about the need for the law, since the facility is operating under a pre-existing non-conforming? What brought about the need for the change?
I really think in this case, and it affects more than one business too, that are up, pre-existing non-conforming, and this would really make them conform with zoning, which is probably the proper thing to do when possible.
It would make the zoning conform with them. Right?
Yes, yes, it's an added use to the business district.
Mr. Fetter, Mark Taylor here. The
Yes.
applicant is, or the petitioner is requested the board to make this change because they wish to expand their use on the site. I believe there's a secondary building that they're proposing to use in connection with their business operations. And I think that is the primary reason they asked for this particular change.
Okay. Otherwise, it would have been too arduous to go through the Zoning Board of Appeals. And
yeah, I think that's their view of it. Yes.
okay. What type of business is that classified as?
In terms of occupancy,
Well, it's use, you're changing, you're adding it's in a B zone, is that correct?
That's correct.
And what type of business is it? What is it classified as?
As a business as opposed to an educational institution, but basically because these are private for-profit entities. They're not institutions per se, a parochial school
basically
or
built-
a public school.
Center though, right? This is considered a daycare center. The type of,
Well, yeah, how does the town classify it letter-wise? Why does it not conform?
it's really not, that particular business is not listed in the bulk tables right now.
Okay,
Correct.
that's clear enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
One last question. Will the written public comments, should there be any, be published before you change the law to give the public a chance to digest the written comments?
Well, yes, because the public will have, even if they're not fortunate enough to be on this meeting, they'll have 10 days from the time the minutes are posted of what took place here tonight.
Right. Will others have the opportunity to see those comments, and which it might, give people incentive or thought to, if it were open and public, there would be some give and take. People could add to a comment, but if somebody writes a letter, doesn't see the day of light, not that that's good or bad, there's no chance to add to it. I doubt you're going to get a letter, but this is enough said. Enough said.
Oh.
That's all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Stay well. Anyone else have a comment on this public hearing? Please identify yourself and your address, and we'll listen to you.
Hello, this is Ashley Torrey from Burke, Milley, Golden, and Naughton. We're the attorneys for the applicant. So I did want to just confirm that the petition was sought because there is a second accessory structure on the property that they're seeking to expand the use in. I think it's a little under 600 square feet, I believe. And that's really what had motivated this, and then just to bring the property into compliance in general. We do believe it's consistent with other uses in the B district, and thank the board for its consideration. If there's any questions, please feel free to direct them my way.
Very good. Thank you. So anyone else with any questions or comments on this public hearing? Now's the time.
Mr. Supervisor, it doesn't appear that anyone else is looking to speak at this time.
With that, I will look for a motion to close this public hearing, knowing that there will be time 10 days after the posted of this meeting.
The only thing I would like to comment, Mr. Supervisor, is they do, with looking at the situation, they do accept children from 6 months to getting ready to start their first day of kindergarten. So it has a variety of ages, with this going through. It's very, very difficult to keep it at 6 feet apart. So I know using that building, I think, would be an asset. That's my only comment.
Thank you, Betty. Does someone make a motion to close this public hearing?
I'll make the motion to close the public hearing.
Made that motion. Was it Paul?
Got
Motion?
Yes.
Okay, someone want to?
I'll second your motion.
Betty seconds it.
Motion made, 7:13 PM. Close the public hearing. Mr. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero? Mr. Manley?
Yes.
And Mr. Piacquadio?
Did we hear Paul say yes?
I did.
Paul, did you vote yes?
I can't hear.
You can't hear.
Well, we can hear you, and I just heard you just now.
It's
Go ahead.
breaking up. It keeps breaking up. I can't hear what anybody's saying.
Can you repeat your vote?
Tell you what, can we call Paul on a cell phone directly and put it on speaker? Bobby, you got a phone we could use?
You got the number?
Do you, Betty?
I have my phone. I don't have the number off the top of my
I
head.
can, Gil, if you can hear me, I'm going to do it from my phone and see if it
Oh,
works.
okay, okay, good idea.
Answer your phone, Paul.
So just find out how Paul wants to.
He's looking for his phone, it looks like.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, Paul, we can't hear you, but now we can hear you fine.
Okay, I'm moving. I'm
Yeah, let's-
moving to.
Okay. But Paul, did you
The problem.
close the public hearing?
On the public hearing, what's your vote on closing it?
Oh, yes.
Yes, okay, we got our yes.
Okay, I'm going to keep this on for now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. So, no, we can't do that until we get all comments in. So we'll do that at our next meeting. That's why I was hoping the 10 days and the 10 days. So is it 7:15? We can go right to this next public hearing?
Yes. Okay, we go on to item 7. Public hearing, acquisition of access parcel for Newburgh Consolidated Water District.
All right, and Joseph, has this public hearing been properly advertised?
It was posted on the town website since April 23rd. It was advertised in the Mid-Hudson Times on April 29th and in the Orange County Post on April 24th. This complies with all the requirements for a public hearing under New York State law.
All right, very good, Joseph. So does someone want to make a motion to open this public hearing?
So move.
I'll second it.
Not Manley.
Mrs. Green,
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero,
Yes.
He
Yes, I
said
heard him.
yes.
Yes.
Mr. Manley,
Yes.
Mr. Piaquardi.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to ask Mark Taylor in a moment to explain this public hearing and the reason for it, but in my own words, this has to deal with a water tank that we have had in place for many years. And it seems that we have a pad that goes outside of the area that we originally had an easement on. And this is to make that piece of property so we can use it for the proper purpose. Now, I don't know, is it you, Jim, or Osborne, or Mark Taylor want to tell us?
I'll take it.
Okay, Mark.
The town owns a water tank, which is located off Route 32, a few properties up from its intersection with Route 300. And it's on a parcel of land that's landlocked. So it's not right on 32. In order to get access to the water tank, town has to utilize an easement across the fronting property. And over the course of time, the town has gone beyond what was granted in that easement, which was essentially a right-of-way for ingress and egress, and installed pipe, and gone beyond the boundary of the easement with a vault. And in order to resolve the issues with the landowner that arose from that basically use of his property beyond what the easement granted, the town has offered to purchase it from him for its appraised value, which is $24,000, and in association with the transaction, it has had to perform a survey, it had to have the appraisal performed, and obviously there will be other additional costs associated with transactions. So at the total estimated cost of this project is $36,000. This is a project of the Consolidated Water District, because the water tank is a Consolidated Water District facility, and accordingly the funds that will be used for the project are coming from that district. And that's essentially it. Mr. Supervisor.
Thank you, Mark. Joseph, can we put your camera and head it towards the diagram that shows that little piece of land there or whatever we're gonna? Do we see it?
I don't have any picture of it.
Well, okay.
on mine.
Dominic, can we go on to Joe's cell phone there to see that diagram, I hope?
Can you see it now?
No, just you.
Yeah, I just clicked on Joe Petty and I can see it. Maybe that's
Right.
what the others have. to do.
Really? Yeah, we just need to click on Joe maybe for us, Dominic. There it is. Well, now we got Mark. We're getting close. Geez, we could see it on our screen as a little icon up there.
There it is.
Okay. You got it. Okay. We got it. The area in the blue, Mark, is what we're talking about, that strip of land by the tank, yes?
That's correct. It's
Okay.
35 feet wide.
35 feet. And how long is it?
Sorry, I don't have that dimension.
Probably shows on that map, Joe. Doesn't it how long that blue section is? If Jim Osborne's there, Jim, do you know the length of that piece? Okay, so it's 341 feet if we're reading the map right there. Thank you, Joe. So with that, Joe, does any member of the public want to make a comment on this purchase for the water district? Maybe you can open up all the mics again, Dominic. And
I'll do that now.
thank you. So again, anyone who wants to comment on this public hearing on purchase of this property, please speak up.
Excuse me.
Can hear us.
Please.
You can hear. Hello.
Donette,
We
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Oh, you can hear me? Okay, thank you. Donette Smith, Rockwood Drive. I'm sorry, I may have missed. Who owns the piece of land? Currently?
All right, we're having some difficulty. Hold on just a second, please.
Oh,
We
sorry.
have too many people talking out there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gil,
You wanna-
can you hear me? Scott Manley.
I can hear you, Scott, if that's, I thought you said Bill. I'm not sure who you.
No, Gil, can you hear me? Scott Manley?
We can hear you very well.
Whisper.
Yeah, I think Donette asked who actually owns the property now.
I'd have to ask Mark, who actually owns the property?
I can answer that, Gil. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
It's George Langlitz Jr.
Okay, George Langlitz Jr.
Okay, and it's only 341 feet of property, correct?
Yes,
by
by
35 feet wide.
Okay, and it's gonna be about $36,000. I
that
just
would be
like a
appraised,
lot of money for not
Yeah.
too much property. I don't know.
but you got to understand, town goes by appraised values. We don't just pick numbers. Okay? We get an appraised value from an independent appraiser.
Just, if I can answer, Gil,
Go ahead, please.
the purchase price based on the appraised value is $24,000. There are costs associated with that Mark alluded to. One is we had to have the property surveyed at a cost of $4,500. We need to buy title insurance on the property at an estimated cost of $3,500.
Wow.
And then there's the preparation of the contract of sale and recording in Orange County at an estimated cost of $4,000. So the purchase of the property at $24,000 is not the only cost that the town will incur.
Right.
There are these ancillary costs that we have to
Okay.
pay.
Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you for the question, too. Anyone else have a comment? Public hearing?
There's a number of people that are unmuted and no one is coming.
No one is,
forward this
okay.
time.
All right, any comment from board members?
I have none.
I don't have any.
Okay. So based on that, we're going to look for a motion to close this public hearing. And on this one again, too, we'll have 10 days from the time that the minutes are posted to accept additional comments. But at this point, we will close the public hearing if someone makes that motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Paul can second.
So Paul first and Eddie second.
Motion made and seconded at 7:25 to close the public hearing. Mr. Green?
Yes,
Mr. Ruggiero?
Yes,
Mr. Manley?
Yes.
And Mr. Piaquadio?
Yes.
Next,
Thank
we
you.
go on to item 8, laborer and seasonal laborer and recreation aids.
All right. All right, so Charlene Black, personnel person. I guess if these are seasonal workers, and the first one is for recreation, a seasonal recreation, which is Ryan Bayer, with an hourly rate of $11.80 per hour, with a proposed starting date of May 18th, 2020. Assume that the physical and all are physical and background come back okay. So, someone want to make that motion?
I'll make the motion. And that's for a laborer. Yeah.
I'll
For a
second your
laborer,
motion.
yes, yes. And Betty seconded it. And the other part of this is these are seasonal workers, this entire stack here. These are the ones coming back again. These are seasonal workers for camp if camp happens this year. We don't know what's going to happen. I really hope and pray that we can open camp and things start to return to normal. But these are the hires just based if they can come back. And they're varying prices depending how long they've been here, with start dates of June 22nd, 2020. So does someone want to make that motion?
So moved.
I'll second, as long as it's detailed, if we do have camp. If not, they won't be employees.
Correct.
Okay, so the first one will be for Ryan Baer. We'll vote on that. Mrs. Green?
Yes,
Mr. Ruggiero?
Yes,
Mr. Manley?
Yes.
Mr. Piaquadio?
Yes, and then the remaining ones as listed that would be coming back as seasonals, Joe.
Right.
We'll do that separately with
Yes.
that. Okay, good.
Mrs. Green?
yes,
Ruggiero?
yes,
Mr. Manley?
Yes.
Mr. Piaquadio?
Yes.
Next, we go on to item 9, which is announcement.
And I'm going to put my announcement in with this presentation now. So, Joe, can we put this photo up here? Or maybe put your camera on the photo. I don't know which, but whichever is easiest for you. So this is a print of the different bridges that cross the Hudson. And it was actually presented to us by the Historic Bridges of the Hudson Valley. And I'm going to ask Scott Manley to read a letter perhaps that escorted this presentation. Scott?
Yes, I picked it up the other day for us, so I'm going to read the thank you note that they sent us. It says, this frame print is a thank you to the Town Newburgh Board for the strong resolution opposing the merger of the New York State Bridge Authority with the Thruway Authority to keep our Hudson Valley bridges locally controlled and maintained. The print displays our beautiful bridges from Bear Mountain to the Rip Van Winkle, with the twin spans of the Newburgh Beacon Bridge crossing proudly from the Newburgh to Beacon. This gift is from the Historic Bridges of the Hudson Valley, an education non-for-profit created to celebrate the history and contribution of our bridges. The graphic on the back includes fellow residents, friends, and family members, individuals whose names are listed by the bridge they care for, who maintain and run our bridges. These individuals are all grateful for the support on the town of Newburgh in their first in the valley resolution to prevent the Thruway Authority from taking over our bridges and most likely raising our Newburgh Beacon toll to match that of Hudson River bridges to the south of us. And they states, please hang this print proudly in the town of Newburgh offices, which I know we will. And if you can hear me, Gil, that was the whole letter.
Support it, and the state went with it too. So it was great. And we thank them for that presentation, and we will hang it. Anyone else have any announcements on the board here?
I do have one. The supervisor has made the announcement that the Memorial Day parade has been canceled, but I want to invite all of you to participate in the service here at Town Hall on Sunday, the 24th of May at 10 a.m. And it is to honor our military people, living and dead. They need to be remembered because without their sacrifices, we would not have the freedom that we have today. And I know right now you say, what freedom? Because I'm housebound, but even that is a freedom. And I think our military people need to be honored on that day. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Betty. And any other board member with a comment?
What time is that, Betty?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
Here in
No, I
our
have no
park,
other comments. No.
so everyone can stay 6 feet apart. We'll even have some chairs out for those who can't stand for the 20 minutes or so, but we do hope you all come and help us honor our military.
Thank you, Betty. So we're going to have public comments too. So again, Dominic, if we could turn all the mics on. If anyone has a question or a comment about town, we'll try our best to answer it.
All right, I'm doing that now. Okay, all the participants have been unmuted at this time.
This is Bill Fetter from Walker Drive. I just want to thank you guys for being there. Really pat yourself on the back for doing what you're doing tonight. Thank you.
You know, thank you, Bill. Is there anyone else? If not, then I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
I think Donette's looking to say something.
Oh, is she? Okay, sorry.
I'm sorry, this is probably a silly question, but just any idea when the restrooms might open at Chadwick Lake?
All right.
They are open.
Oh, they are? They weren't open on Sunday.
The restrooms by the office are open. The other ones have to have the water department turn the water on.
Oh, what do you mean with the ones by the pavilion?
The ones over by the pavilion, yes.
Oh gosh, hallelujah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, you know, a stenographer wants you to repeat the names again, please, on Rockwood.
My name's Lauren Mandel.
Well, you didn't get it yet, did you?
Lauren Mandel.
Yes, that's Mandel.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, anyone else? It's the very unusual conditions. I really appreciate everyone who watched the meeting tonight and those who participated. Thank you. It's a difficult thing to do. And at one time you had to get the paperwork for me. That was the important thing on these meetings. And now it's like trying to set them up electronically so they're going to work. And I would appreciate everybody's help. Certainly, it was just me, it never would happen. So with that, we'll look for a motion to adjourn. I think, Betty, you already made a motion, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
So we're looking for a second to adjourn.
Second.
All right, Paul said second.
Motion made and seconded at 7:33. Mrs. Green?
Yes.
Mr. Ruggiero?
Yes.
Come on. Okay, yes, he said.
Mr. Manley?
Yes.
Mr. Pierquaio?
Yes, all right. Thank you, everyone, and stay safe, please.
And healthy.